deutsche Memes oder sowas, Leute. Erstmal eine Runde deutsche Memes. Und dann vielleicht noch Sascha unsympathisch. Ich würde gerne zuerst mit euch ein Video schauen. Hoffe, Chat, euch geht es natürlich allen gut. Null Johnny und Nickel, dankeschön für euren Sub. Hier hat ein Typ eine Achterbahn gebaut. In seinem Hintergarten, Backyard, in seinem Garten. Eine Achterbahn für $500. Das will ich mir reinziehen. Let's go, der Hase. Auf geht's. Und deshalb will ich einen Garten haben. Weil ich will mir auch sowas bauen. Boah, wie geil. What the fuck? What the fuck? Da fährt jemand mit? Lol. Chat, ich will mir auch eine eigene Achterbahn bauen, wenn ich ehrlich bin.
Hi everyone. Have you ever thought about building your own roller coaster?
Ja.
By the end of this video, I hope you think about it.
Oh, der macht es.
There are two books that I know of on that very topic, and this man wrote both.
Der Typ hat einfach Bücher darüber geschrieben, wie man Achterbahn in seinem zu Hause baut.
Recently took a trip to Seattle to meet with Paul Gregg, a retired aerospace engineer who now uses his years of accumulated skill building airplanes and missiles to create meticulously engineered backyard roller coasters for his grandkids.
Wie geil.
More than that, Paul Gregg has gone to great lengths to document and refine the process of building his roller coasters.
Der Typ ist einfach ein Expert. Okay, wir checken mal aus.
Okay.
And the kids right in here. It's, you know, it's for little kids.
This cart, as Paul just described, is for a two-dimensional roller coaster, meaning it might go up and down hills, but it doesn't turn side to side. This makes the cart very simple because it doesn't need wheels that turn. It's literally just a box on 4 fixed wheels with guides to keep it from slipping off the track.
Nice, oder?
That makes a
ja, gut, was soll der TÜV dazu in Deutschland sagen? Ja, Digga, what? Also das schwierig.
Two-dimensional roller coaster by far the easiest to build. And you can see an example right in Paul's backyard.
So this is the first track we built.
Ohne Kurven.
We avoided having to make too tall of towers by using the terrain in our deck here.
So this is what you would call, this is like a 2D roller coaster.
Yeah, this is the 2D roller coaster.
Crazy, Alter.
It's got a 3D card on it. That's pretty cool.
Wie geil, wie geil. Okay, ich will jetzt sehen, wie der Dude sein eigenes Ding baut.
The 3D cart was going to be much more complex than a
Der hat
3D
das
cart's
alles
much more
komplett
complex
selber
than a 2D
gemacht, Digga.
cart.
What the
Because
fuck?
it has to do a lot of different things. It has to.
Ey, Chat, checkt ihr, wie krass das ist, wenn ein Typ einfach selber eine Achterbahn 2300 Zuschauer direkt am Anfang. Ja, es schmeckt anders, ich weiß. Wenn ein Typ einfach eine Achterbahn in seinen Garten baut.
Do the normal.
Bro.
And I do.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
The front end won't react.
Digga,
the back end.
Ich würde damit fahren. Ich würde es. Chat, eins in den Chat, wenn ihr damit fahren würdet. Ist doch egal, oder?
Has to. So
Hört bitte auf den Kacke an der Hand Clip zu spammen.
That's why this complicated mechanism to react the overturning roll moment.
Right.
Crazy.
So to simplify, a 3D roller coaster cart needs a front axle with all 3 degrees of freedom to follow a complex track. The rear axle needs yaw and pitch, but it cannot be allowed to roll, or the cart will just fall over.
Crazy.
You start to appreciate just how much work Paul has put into this when you realize he's designed 34 different carts in CAD and built 6 just to solve these various issues. There's a lot of force applied to this track.
Alles sehr technisch.
And build carts on, or?
Well, I just store this on here because this one's just hard to do. But yeah, it's a good idea to look at this track. And that's kind of where I started.
Krass.
I noticed the ones online when I started had just flat ends here. And I thought it would be a big improvement to cup the ends of the ties. And then they just were drilling their screws in there. So the side wheels were whacking the screw heads. So the first thing I did was put these up where the main wheels and the side wheels don't hit the fastener.
Damit die Schrauben dann nicht abgeschliffen werden, okay.
Heads. These are 2 of the things left
Aber da
over
kannst du ja
from
keinen
my
Erwachsenen mitfahren lassen. Das geht ja nicht, oder?
rail tie joint testing.
Wie geil, der Typ ist einfach ehemaliger NASA-Raumfahrtexperte und baut jetzt einfach einen Rollercoaster für seine Kinder, für seine Enkelkinder. Wie geil.
Do the same thing. You can make these pretty cheap.
So this is one of the things Paul and I talked about in detail. This joint right here between the rail and the ties. This is what Paul determined to be the weakest part of a wooden track. So this is where most of his effort has been focused.
Plastikrohr.
This joint where the 2x4 tie is cupped to fit the rail and slightly offset so there's more support on the bottom of the track is good to about...
Weil sonst bricht es halt, ja. Wie krass, Alter, was man da alles bedenken muss. Ich dachte mir, bauen wir mal eine Achterbahn, Digga. Würde ich ja niemals hinbekommen, oder?
900 pounds per joint, which when you account for the cart having 4 wheels, dividing the force on multiple joints at once, that's a pretty good margin of safety, at least for the weight of small children. At one point, Paul worked on designing a coaster to be ridden by full-grown students at MIT.
What?
And for that, he tested other methods of joining the ties. Some of the designs were actually so strong that the wheels on the testing rig started to fail instead of the joint.
Krass.
So that brings us to the next weakest point, which are the plastic rails.
Durch und durch Wissenschaftler.
I can't find on the internet. I tested it myself, though. I had tracks painted and unpainted in my yard for 2 years. The fracture toughness loss is about 50% without paint, and it's only maybe 5% with paint. The lesson is you probably want to use PVC, but you have to paint it.
The track that I finally am going to ride is the first one that Paul built, the 2D track we saw earlier. This actually uses ABS rails instead of PVC.
Okay, ich will sehen, wie der damit fährt.
Perfect.
Macht sogar so Tests damit, guck mal.
Let it go. That's what we're going to do for you too.
Yeah.
Nicht jetzt wundern, dass es ein krasses Fischei damit hier alles drauf ist. Das ist natürlich nicht gebogen, das ist komplett gerade.
Just because if you push it, you don't know what the loads are.
Bei Julian Baum im Garten, eine Achterbahn. Also ich glaube, wenn ich jetzt ein Haus finden würde, endlich mal. Chat, glaubt ihr, sowas würde ich hinbekommen? Seid mal ganz ehrlich, jetzt seid mal wirklich ganz, ganz ehrlich, mit Hilfe von jemandem. Sowas Simples. Nein, nein, nee, nee, nö, nein. Nein, 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 nein. Ja, nein. Mit Hilfe. Mit richtig, so Nerdy Timber oder sowas. Schwierig. Es ist schon krass. Es ist schon anspruchsvoll, das stimmt schon. Haben die Real Life Guys sowas mal gemacht? Nitrax, danke für deine 85-Bit, Bro. Läuft aber.
Wow. I mean, that's pretty good.
Okay, fährt er jetzt damit? Oh lol. Okay, jetzt haben wir
Because we learned something really.
Okay.
Tatsächlich, der fährt damit. Das war die Kappe an der Stelle.
Little hard on the neck.
Yeah, your head sticks up higher than the kids. That's that exact thing I was showing you on the computer.
Crazy.
Your head's high.
Right, and I'm going over the radius.
Your head is accelerating and decelerating a lot different than the wheels.
Ah, klar, 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 weil halt der Kopf höher raussteht als die
This
Kinder.
means that when you enter the loop, the cart starts traveling around it, while your head stays right in the center. Have you noticed the problem?
Yeah.
Your head was just traveling at the same speed as the cart, but in the middle of this loop, its forward velocity drops to 0.
Ja.
In physics terms, this is called jerk,
Crazy.
a
Ey, das
rapid
ist schon
change in
sehr, sehr
acceleration
interessant,
that on
Alter.
paper
Holy shit.
wants to happen
Moritz
instantaneously.
04010, danke
Your
für deinen
head
Sub.
also experiences
Okay.
jerk when the
Also Leute, ich würde sagen, Thema Achterbahnbau, vielleicht setze ich mich dran, Ich mache mal ganz hier komplettes Licht an, Moment, Leute. Vielleicht setze ich mich wirklich dran. Achterbahn, Alter, das wäre doch mal was,
Part
oder?
exit.
Eine Achterbahn zu bauen, what the fuck.